share the news with you fine patriots whom I love. So, folks, we have some big news breaking. It's just remember the Seditious Six, the people who launched their little video saying, hey, whoa, you don't need to follow unlawful orders, but couldn't name a single unlawful order that Donald Trump had actually asked the military to do. Like, in what world do we run around telling military professionals that they don't need to follow orders and then say unlawful orders when all they did was pass unlawful orders? The Democrats, gosh, God help me. Anyways, just drives me crazy. But folks, I have good news for you, because Democrat Senator Mark Kelly is facing court-martial after Department of War launches review of allegations of misconduct. Yeah, Mark Kelly, stolen Senate seat in Arizona. But anyways, I digress. Anyways, do me a favor, smash that like if you would. Chat in with where you're from. Oh, and folks, I just placed a big order from MyPillow. Are you crazy? The deals over there are crazy. Do you know that the duvets for the down comforters are made out of Giza cotton? Yeah, and then I got like a Giza cotton waffle blanket. I'm telling you, man, Giza, it's a thing. Go over there, mypillow.com/lumberjack, or call 1-800-568-2865, 1-800-568-2865. Just the best sleep products available. The Bible pillows, the story pack for kids, $30 for 5 pillows, $6 a piece. Give me a break. Okay, check this out though. Democrat Senator Mark Kelly faces court-martial after Department of War launches review of allegations of misconduct. This from the Gateway Pundit just 10 minutes ago. The Department of War on Monday announced it is considering recalling Democrat Senator Mark Kelly for court-martial pleadings after he urged the military to defy President Trump's orders. Without offering any specifics, Alyssa Slotkin, Democrat of Michigan, and I will tell you what's really wild is they will tell you that she's a moderate, and they will tell you that Mark Kelly is a moderate as well, along with Democrats Maggie Goodlander from New Hampshire, Jason Crow of Colorado, Chris DeLuzio of Pennsylvania, and Chrissy Houlihan of Pennsylvania repeatedly stated you can refuse illegal orders, or you must refuse illegal orders, in a viral video. Now, of course, Trump came out and said some things afterwards, and it seemed like they were actually prepared for this, knowing which way Trump would go. So you can tell me that they're evil, but don't tell me they're dumb, because those videos were ready to roll just like that. And that was where they put out their next series of video, which was, I won't take down the ship or something. What was that? What was their tagline on that? Something about don't give up the ship. Don't give up the ship. And they all came out with their don't give up the ship videos. Remember that? Don't give up the ship. You don't have to, listen to illegal orders, yada, yada. President Trump has called for the Democratic lawmakers featured in the viral video to be locked up. The Department of War is now reviewing the allegations of misconduct. Here's a full statement from the Department of War, folks. The Department of War has received serious allegations of misconduct against Captain Mark Kelly, U.S. Navy retired. In accordance with the Uniform Code of Military Justice, 10 U.S.C. 688, and other applicable regulations, a thorough review of these allegations has been initiated to determine further actions, which may include recall to active duty for court-martial proceedings or other administrative measures. This matter will be handled in compliance with military law, ensuring due process and impartiality. Further official comments will be limited to preserve the integrity of the proceedings. The Department of War reminds all individuals that military retirees remain subject to the UCMJ for applicable offenses. And federal laws such as 18 U.S.C. 2387 prohibit actions intended to interfere with the loyalty, morale, or good order and discipline of the armed forces. Any violations will be addressed through appropriate legal channels. Now, folks, I want to ask you a question, my lovely Lumberjack Logic audience. Do you think, referring to 18 U.S.C. 2387 that prohibits actions, do you think that there were actions done in that video that were intended to interfere with the loyalty, morale, or good order and discipline of the armed forces. Do you think that the Seditious Six, when they produced that video, might have been interfering with the loyalty, morale, or good order and legal discipline of the armed forces? So, let me ask you a further question on this, since we're talking about our military here. Remember when Pete Hegseth came in and de-wokeified the military and then said that women had to meet the men's standards? All people had to meet the standards for push-ups and whatnot, even the fat generals, and they got all upset, and then they oh gosh. And then they went on, they were leaking to, what's the liberal publication run by Steve Jobs' wife, former wife, whatever, oh, come on. The Atlantic. Yes, they always leak to the Atlantic. And they were saying, oh, that everybody in the military, we're really upset with Pete Hegseth. And then they tried to make it seem like he was doing a bad thing by requiring, they were really just upset about having to do push-ups and saying that leaking information to the press that he was dispiriting the military. They should be held on the same standard, don't you think? Anyways, but then I want you to think about, remember all the trans commercials in the military and all the trannies? Do you think, folks, just go with me on a wild, since there were so many liberals that they had recruited into the military to promote transgenderism and crap, do you think that when the Seditious Six made that video, that they might have been looking for people like that not to follow orders, to cause disunity and dispiritedness in the military? Huh? Wait. Oh, judge just dismissed both Comey and Letitia James, breaking now. Interesting. Okay, I've got some things on Comey. I'll go back to something else on Comey, since we're going to talk about Comey and James. Remember, folks, I did a stream last week. Did you guys, I don't know how many of you caught that stream, but I was reading something on Comey and I said, they're going to get this thing dismissed on a technicality. How many of you were watching that stream when I said that was going to happen? How many? Just yes or no. We're watching that. Because I was reading this article and there was an error made in the charging documents. It was an error made in the fact that Comey did the grand jury indictment. They did not receive the full thing filed with the grand jury. Something to that effect. Remember that? And I'm telling you, folks, that one I could see coming. Tish James being dismissed. We'll see what goes on with that. I don't have the information on that right now. I'm more focused on this, but very alarming. Thank you for notifying me of that. All service members are reminded that they have a legal obligation under the UCMJ to obey lawful orders, and that orders are presumed to be lawful. So orders are presumed to be lawful. I mean, can you imagine troops sitting there outside a city wall in Kandahar, and they're told to scale the wall and get a top terrorist baddie, and they're standing out there? Well, I don't know. Do you suppose that we might be able to defy these orders? Do you suppose those are 100% legal? Are we sure he's a terrorist baddie? I mean, do you guys see the problems this would create? Okay, so you have to presume in the military, you have to presume that the orders are legal, and actually it falls upon these commanding officers, and they're the ones that actually, you have seen in times of war, face some really stiff penalties for doing things that are illegal. Not that now there's obviously illegal activities, and if the troops do that, of course, that's not going to work out well for them either. But that's always been the case. So this video being made was ridiculous. A service member's personal philosophy does not justify or excuse the disobedience of an otherwise lawful order. That was stated from the Department of War. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth released this statement as well. The video made by the Seditious Six was despicable, reckless, and false. Encouraging our warriors to ignore the orders of their commander undermines every aspect of the good order and discipline. Their foolish screed sows doubt and confusion, which only puts our warriors in danger. 5 of the 6 individuals in that video do not fall under Department of War jurisdiction. 1 is CIA, and 4 are former military, but not retired, so they are no longer subject to the UCMJ. However, Mark Kelly, retired Navy commander, is still subject to UCMJ, and he knows that. As was announced, the Department of War is reviewing his statements and actions which were addressed directly to all troops while explicitly using his rank and service affiliation, lending the appearance of authority to his words. Kelly's conduct brings discredit upon the armed forces and will be addressed appropriately. So that is taking place. So now you guys are telling me about Tish James. So let's just look this up quick. Okay, Clinton judge dismisses Comey, Tish James cases. Rules Lindsay Halligan invalidly appointed. Okay, so here's the scoop. So the judge is saying that Lindsay Halligan, the attorney for the federal Department of Justice, was invalidly appointed, and that's why they're dismissing the case? Let's look into this. A federal judge on Monday dismissed the criminal cases against Comey and James. The case was dismissed without prejudice. James Cameron McGowan Curry, a Clinton appointee, ruled that Lindsay Halligan was invalidly appointed. So he's not even ruling on the merits of the case. He's not ruling on whether or not Comey or James are actually guilty. That should mean that they can retry this case. They can bring it again. For the reasons set forth above, it is hereby ordered and adjudged as followed. The appointment of Ms. Halligan as interim U.S. attorney violated 28 U.S.C. 546 and the appointments clause of the U.S. Constitution. Do you know why that's so much crap right there? Do you remember when Jack Smith was invalidly appointed in a much more brazen act? Do you guys remember this? Yeah, I am reading this. Look, somebody already got it. SC texted. So was Jack Smith. Exactly. He was never confirmed by Congress as a special prosecutor. Just a freaking stupid. All actions flowing from Ms. Halligan's defective appointment, including securing and signing Comey's indictment, were unlawful exercises of executive power and are hereby set aside. The Attorney General's attempts to ratify Ms. Halligan's actions were ineffective and are hereby set aside. Mr. Comey's motion to dismiss the indictment is granted in accordance with this order. The indictment is dismissed without prejudice. The power to appoint an interim U.S. attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia during the current vacancy lies with the district court until a U.S. attorney is nominated by the president and confirmed by the Senate under 28 U.S.C. 541. Holy cats. Okay. So, how's this going to play out? Anybody got any ideas? I would say that they're just going to appoint an attorney to take the case and refile it. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I would say that they're going to rebring this. I don't know why they wouldn't. Do you know, here, I'm going to give you guys another one. Eric Swalwell's running for governor of California. Do you guys know this? Okay. Eric Swalwell can't run for governor of California. Do you guys know why? Why can't Eric Swalwell actually run for governor of California? Anybody? Anybody? Exactly, Catherine. He doesn't live there. He doesn't live there. He declared his candidacy just this past Thursday. But the California Constitution and Elections Code, okay, say that he must have his permanent home, his primary residence in the state of California. And he declared, okay, because, you know, they're all involved in some form of mortgage fraud, right? About, you know, where their principal residence is. And his mortgage document states that his principal residence is 209 9th Street Southeast in Washington, D.C. Guys, you guys want to hear? I've got something on Eric Swalwell. I'm going to let you listen to some audio. You should be able to hear this. Okay? This is Eric Swalwell. This is how badly he wants secure elections, folks. He wants nothing but good elections. Listen.
I want us to be able to vote by phone. I think every Californian vote by phone. Yeah, if we can do our taxes, do our, make our healthcare appointments, make.
He wants us to vote by phone. This is Eric Swalwell talking.
Essentially, do your banking online. You should be able to vote by phone. Make it safe, make it secure, but it's actually already happening all over the United States. I want us to be a blue state that doesn't do just a little bit better than like Georgia or Alabama when it comes to like voting access. I want us to max out democracy.
He wants to max out democracy, folks. Just vote by phone.
So as it relates to democracy, if you wait in line for 30 minutes or more, if you do want to vote in person, I think you should fine every county for every minute that a person has to wait longer. We have to be better, not just a little bit better than the other states. The DMV. I don't think Californians should have to go in person to the DMV anymore.
They don't even have to go to the DMV. So here's what's really getting interesting. He doesn't even think that you should have to go to the DMV. You don't even have to prove that. So first, just think about the lunacy of this. You don't even have to go to the DMV to get your driver's license under Swalwell's idea. And then you can just vote by phone. So you could pretend you're somebody else to get the license and then just call your vote in. Where is the election security in any of this?
I think we can do that virtually. I think you can have the DMV employees do it virtually, but it's a lot of real estate.
Is that the most popular position?
Digitize the DMV. Digitize the DMV.
Today, yeah.
We can modernize the state, and I look forward to bringing these ideas to Californians.
Unbelievable. Eric Swalwell, Mr. Fang Fang, is so pathetic. It's just, what is, oh gosh. Become a citizen by phone, exactly. So anyways, I saw somebody commenting, James or something, and he sounds like he doesn't think anybody will ever go to jail, that nothing good will ever happen. There's a lot of black pill people out there, folks. I will tell you that those types of thoughts have their own outcome. So, thoughts of despair and whatnot. This is what I was telling you guys about just a second ago. Early Black Friday special at My Pillow. Look at that. 5-pack, $29.98. I just put my order in. I've got them coming. If you got kids or grandkids, are you kidding me? $6 a pillow? Look at the beautiful paintings on there, and then they got the Bible stories on the back side of the pillow. I got the duvet. It covers your down comforter, because you got to have a down comforter, folks, man, especially if you live in Minnesota. Anyways, I love that stuff. But anyways, the duvet cover, check this out. I didn't even know. Mike was talking about duvets on my show the other day, as low as $80. And I'm like, wait, what? What? Duvet? What's a duvet? I called in, right? Because you call the 800 number to order. You don't just use the website. Anyways, the 800 number is 1-800-568-2865. And so I'm like, what's a duvet? Well, you know how you can't wash a down comforter. You got to get it dry cleaned. It covers the comforter. Okay, so then you can just pull it off. But here's the best part, folks. Guess what this is made out of, this duvet? It's made out of Giza cotton. Are you kidding me? Because the Giza sheets are the best things ever. Anyhow, folks, go get yourself some stuff over at MyPillow, mypillow.com/lumberjack. All right, I got another one for you here. Actually, here. I should show you guys something really funny. Oh, hey, I posted too a link, and I'll post it again for it. Well, no, I don't have the thing up anymore. But anyways, on my Neil of the North channel, the last video is my kids and we went on a youth deer hunt. It's a fun video. Go check it out. Go check it out. I spent some time on it, edited up a good intro for it and everything. But where is it? Oh, here. I want you guys to know. A lot of people are kind of dooming about the midterms and the elections. So I want to give you guys a little hope. You guys ready for hope, or do you want me to go black pill you? Yeah. And I got the Giza waffle blanket. So meaning I got the Giza sheets. I got the Giza blanket. And now I got the Giza duvet. I can't get enough of Giza. All right. It's incredible. All right. Hope. Here we go. War chest. The RNC, fueled by Trump and Vance, tops rival DNC in fundraising race. It's not even close, folks. Listen to this. The RNC has hauled in nearly $15 million in fundraising last month as it continues to build a massive war chest for next year's midterm elections, when the party will defend its House and Senate majorities. According to figures shared with Fox News Digital on Thursday, RNC brought in $14.7 million in October, bringing this total this cycle to $146 million. And the RNC reported $91 million cash on hand at the end of October. Do you know where the Democrats are at? $18.2 million on hand. And the DNC's $7.5 million in fundraising last month was roughly half of the RNC's haul. Okay, so let me just run these numbers to you again. 91 million versus 18 million cash on hand. 7.5 million in fundraising versus 15 million in fundraising. Okay? That's all due to President Trump. Now, you would think that the party would be more willing to do the things Trump wants to do. Okay? Vice President Vance has been a driving force in our fundraising efforts, and we're entering 2026 with serious momentum and the funding needed to defend our Republican majorities. Now, here's the thing. Just to give you a little strategy, I think where Trump is going right now, I'm just going to give you my insight. And he basically said as much. But Donald Trump has been focusing on getting illegals out of the country. And how many of you are excited that over 2 million illegals are now out of the country that were here? Okay, I know the Democrats will tell you they haven't broken any law, but they're out. Okay, he has dealt with Iran. I know that's contentious for some people. I don't even understand why. Iran has never been our friend. Okay, and then there's these criminal prosecutions, and of course we know about obviously, it appears that the Justice Department jumped the gun on getting the gal to do this. The judge was able to dismiss it, not based upon the merits of the case, but based upon, I got a super chat here I got to get to. Did you hear the dismissals for Comey and James? Yeah, we just talked about that Immortal Legend. So here's the deal. That was based on the fact the judge says, let's just put it this way, the judge says that Lindsay Halligan was invalidly appointed. They can appoint a new attorney, get them confirmed by the Senate, and then bring the charges. Now, the question is, do these stooges in the Senate confirm the new attorney? Okay, but I want to tell you where Trump is going for the midterms, I believe, and he just talked about this. And I think the messaging out of the White House, I'm just going to say something real quickly. The messaging out of the White House up to this point has been terrible. Okay? Straight from Donald Trump. I don't care what you say. This is a 4D chess telling people that there's not an affordability crisis. How many of you think that's good messaging? Let me just ask that way. Okay? How many of you think telling the American public everything's fine in the economy is right, is a good way to go? Just help me out on this. I mean, because people get all upset when I say Trump did something wrong. There's no way that you can run around telling everybody when young people can't afford housing. The average age right now of first-time homebuyers is up to 40 freaking years old, people. 40. That's a problem. A big problem. So the question is then, what do you do about that? Well, then they talk about 50-year mortgages. 50-year mortgages? Okay, so 30 years of bondage to a mortgage wasn't enough. So now we're going to do 50-year mortgages. Herb Oldenburg said he had his first house when he was 18. I bought mine. How old was I when I bought my first house? 24, maybe? I think 24. 24. Yeah. I mean, average age now 40. So then we get these lies peddled to us. This is not from the administration or anything. The Democrats are constantly telling us we're a low tax nation, right? Listen to this out of Real Clear Markets. The U.S. is not a low tax country, despite what you've been told. One of the great misperceptions about federal tax policy is that the United States is a low tax country. Every left-leaning Washington think tank and most of the media promote this notion and use it to push for higher taxes on the American people. You guys have heard this. They try to tell you corporate taxes are low, but then why is everybody offshoring their money? This low tax claim is at best misleading, if not outright deceptive. In reality, the U.S. is a high tax country with average U.S. tax rates on individuals, corporations, and investors higher than the average tax rates in the rest of the developed world. The argument that the U.S. is a low tax country relies on simplistic calculation that our overall burden as a percentage of GDP is lower than that of OECD nations. But that is only because the U.S. is the only OECD country without a value-added tax. The OECD higher tax burden is entirely a result of the steep value-added taxes the other 37 countries impose on their people to fund their welfare states. The one and only difference is the value-added tax. So the VAT taxes are like what they charge on BMWs and stuff, right? Okay. As a matter of fact, the U.S. tax burden on individuals, corporations, and investors is higher than much of Europe, Asia, and the OECD. In terms of personal income taxes, the individual income taxes in the U.S. amount to 11.2% of the GDP. The other countries only raise 8.3% from income taxes. The top average marginal tax rate in the U.S. is 43.7%. The other countries are less. Major states such as California, New York, New Jersey, and Minnesota have top marginal rates higher than 50%. Folks, that's among the highest in the world. Okay, so we're getting taxed to beat the band. Houses are overpriced, and now we're talking about 50-year freaking mortgages. Are you kidding me? 50 years? Oh, that's great. That's great. No, do you know what needs to take place here? Because we've got a problem with colleges, right? Where the cost of getting the education is too high. And then after you get the education, you got to pay back these ridiculous student loans. And everybody says, well, it's the borrower's fault, right? Well, yeah, we all sign up for the loan. But these kids are told that they're going to get this good job, right? They're going to make money by taking this loan. Y'all understand it, right? I mean, that's what they're all told. Okay. So now we're going, okay, you can't even dismiss student loan debt through the standard means. So you're going to have it forever. We're going to charge you at 7%. And what do colleges do as the result of having more student loan funding available? Let me ask you guys that. What do colleges do as a result of student loans? How does the Somalian pay? Oh, they don't have to. You see, that's the thing. They just give it to them for free. Okay? Yeah, they raise tuition. And here we got another one. No one needs to accept. So I'm going to give you a comment here. MSX, M8R. No one needs to accept a 50-year mortgage or pay off principal early with no prepay penalty and create your own timeline or stop eating out and save more for a down payment. We always say that. The average price of homes is too high, man. It's gone up, especially when you take in the fact that the labor rate hasn't kept up with it. I mean, I get all that. I mean, shoot, when I was young, I did 3 jobs. I worked 3 table waiting jobs at one point. I didn't even sleep on the weekends. I started Friday morning, worked through Sunday night. 3 days, no sleep. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay? So, seriously. And and uh and somebody's like, I'm sick of the Trump administration not getting that right, this right, whatever. No, the fact is, no one gets everything right all the time. But the messaging on this has been bad. But Trump has now stated that he's tackling affordability. So he knows, this is why people just never let you even finish your thoughts before they go in their whole thing. But the issue now is Trump sees this as the problem and he is dealing with it. So what we need, because we talk about inflation being under control, and Trump's right, inflation is at like 3%, which isn't terrible inflation. Although inflation numbers are factored off things that, I mean, they've skewed how that gets counted. We need deflation, right? Well, what is the cost for 3 ribeye steaks? I went into the store the other day and I saw 3 ribeye steaks for sale. It was over $50. Over $50. Like, how many of you can like go, well, yeah, I'll eat steak once a week when it's $50 freaking dollars for 3 of them? I mean, here's the other thing, folks. So when I bought my first home, I bought a 76 Rambler with an unfinished basement, had some siding problems. It was on 10 acres in the Prior Lake, Minnesota area. I knew I could do something with that house. I ended up selling that home for $650,000. I put a couple hundred into it, but came out very good on the house. And I sold it myself. I didn't even end up using a realtor because the realtors didn't understand that the market was going to turn. And none of them even wanted to do open houses. I sold my house through an open house, okay? Then I bought land, I sold timber, I kind of moved a lot of things around. I have talked to a lot of people. Most people aren't thinking that way, okay? They're not. And so I'm not, a lot of people do not have the acumen and the savvy to pull that stuff off. And they are the type of people who just, they work a job, they want to buy a house, and they work 40 hours a week, and that's what they do. And the 40-hour workers are out there plumbing your homes, they're working in the factories, they're working at the store, stocking the shelves. They are necessary for our country to work. And, you know, they should, through hard work, be able to at least buy a home. And it is very difficult for them right now. To say that that's not the case is it's denying reality, okay? So, just saying. Somebody just got 8 inches of snow overnight. Where was that? My gosh, they say snow's coming our way. I got to go get my plow truck. I got a bunch of stuff to do today. Actually, I got to bring a cow to butcher tomorrow. I got to fix my daughter's brakes, my son's brakes. Oh my gosh, I got work, folks. Between kids, cars, cows, and everything else, it's hard to even get my videos done some days. So what happens when you have 7 kids. Anyways, but I do teach my son, and we've actually, I walk them through the process so they can do it themselves. I mean, they all have to be able to do these things themselves. Yeah. Anyway, I'm just excited. I got my MyPillow order done, and I got that video done. Here, I'm going to show you guys something. You're all going to tell me, Neil, it's backwards. It's backwards. It's backwards. I know. It's rough. It's rough, folks. I'm going to show you something on the screen. You're going to go, it's backwards. It's backwards. Neil, what are you doing? Okay. Let's see. I'll turn this down just a little bit. Here it is. This is backwards. Check this out. My son got this deer at 300 yards. 300 yards. But you can go check this out. It's on Neil of the North. That's my other channel, but check this out. Here's the intro for our hunting video. Oh, she got it. He got her. Whoa. Yeah, I got some bucks fighting on there. My daughter popping off one. She nailed that one. She missed one there. Good times. All right, so we and it goes into the actual video of the hunt. Anyways, they punched the tags, filled the freezer. Yeah, we're ready for winter. Anyways, I love you all. I get frustrated sometimes. I mean, it sounds like Marjorie Taylor Greene is not going to be the only early retirement. You guys heard this? So we have problems in the Republican Party. We have problems in the Republican Party. So they need to get their stuff together. They need to do things that the American people want, like, Trump's in favor of it, banning Congress people from trading stocks, getting their 300, 600% returns. So, to a point with your bumper the other day, funny, Gerald. So we need to pass national voter ID. We need to pass all the things that are popular. Oh, seems so simple. Seems so simple. All the Doge cuts. We need Doge is now disbanded. We need Doge back. We need more cuts made. What happened to our $2 trillion of cuts? Anyways. Just saying, folks, I get a little frustrated sometimes. Hopefully you can understand that. I'm sure you can. For the most part. Do you know what keeps me up? Like, keeps me fairly positive about the world? Jesus, he doesn't change. He loves you. It's settled. Like, don't doubt God's love for you. Don't let circumstances make you question God's love. Well, if he did, why did this happen or whatever? No. The love that he has for you was settled when he came down here to earth and went to the cross. Okay? He loves you. He loves you. And you're forgiven. You're forgiven. If you want the forgiveness, I mean, that act was, and then, do you know what he does? He gives you all that, and then he gives you purpose and meaning in life. Okay? Love you all, man. Go check out MyPillow, mypillow.com/lumberjack for those great deals. I will open the product when I get it. I'm going to do like some opening. Oh, I'm so excited about this stuff. Giza cotton. You got Giza cotton in the blankets. I got Giza on the duvet, and I got Giza sheets, man. Giza pillowcases. I love it. We'll see you on the next episode, all right? Peace out.